Shalom Aleichem. Welcome to the Breslov Parshat Shir. This week is Parshat Vayishlach. Vayishlach tells us that Yaakov was returning from Lavan's house after 22 years. After 20 years. And he stayed 2 years in this week's Parshat. And he was afraid because Esav was coming to greet him with 400 men. Yaakov was Yaakov, and he had his 12 sons, or 11 sons at the time. He had his herdsmen, he had his servants. Esav was coming with 400 warriors. Hamas. The Hamas, Achicha Yaakov. Esav was Hamas. He came to greet Yaakov. Friendly greeting. The Medrash tells us that as Esav came close to Yaakov, a band of angels greeted him. Who are you? Me? I'm the grandson of Avram Avinu. They beat the crap out of him. Then another group of angels came. Who are you? I'm the son of Isaac. They beat the crap out of him. Who are you? Esav. They beat the crap out of him. So finally he said, I'm Yaakov's brother. I'm going to greet him warmly and friendly. And they said, okay, leave him. And that's what happened throughout history. They ganged up on the Jewish nation. And they won. They beat the Jews. They tortured them. The Jews suffered poverty, exile, you name it. But eventually, these nations disappeared. What was left was Yaakov. Esav realized he can't overpower Yaakov. So what he did was he said, I'm going to make peace. So they greeted him. But as the Medrash says, and Rashi brings it, the 400 warriors that he brought with him, they all left him alone. Esav was left alone to meet Yaakov. And of course, Esav could not beat Yaakov. He could not. Proof is that prior to meeting Esav, Yaakov met the angel of Esav, the protecting angel of Esav. And he beat him. He overpowered an angel. Right? Which human overpowers an angel? Unless you're a great tzaddik, that you are greater than angels. And Yaakov did that. And so he met Esav. And they made a pact. Esav left the land of Israel. And he left it for Yaakov. He walked away from it. That's an interesting medrash. Yeah, Rashi brings. Why did he leave? Because Avram, he was at the covenant of the halves, Parshat Lech Lecha, was told that your nation, your descendants will go into exile. Esav heard that, but he doesn't want exile. So he left the land. Those that have the land have the exile, have the diaspora, they have the suffering, they have the wars, they have the difficulties that faced him. Esav walked away from it. He thought he would never have to pay the price. Yaakov stayed. There's a price to pay for having something good, like the land of Israel. I know that, said Yaakov, and I'm willing to pay the price. And so it has been for the descendants of Yaakov all the years, that Yaakov has sustained damage, suffering, death and destruction. And he's sustained. He's flourished with everything that happened. And not only that, Yaakov, in this week's Parsha, his children taught us a very important lesson. It's the lesson that Dinah, his daughter, was taken forcibly by Shechem, Nablus, right? You heard of Nablus, Shechem? She was taken forcibly and raped, and two of Yaakov's sons avenged that. Yaakov was not happy because he knew it would invite the enmity of his neighbors. Still, as much as he was angry over it, the brothers taught us a lesson. You do not stand by when your sister or brother is attacked. You enter the fray. You stand up for what you have to stand up for. Stand up for what's right. That's what the brothers taught us. Afterwards, we find in the Parsha that Binyamin was born. Binyamin is called Ben Yamin. Yamin is called Eretz Yisrael, and as Rabbi Nachman explains, that's what the power of Eretz Yisrael is. Binyamin teaches us that there is a Gavaldik Koyach in Eretz Yisrael, right? What we have to do is nurture that Koyach. How do we nurture it? With prayer. Lesson 55 in the Kutam Moran, Rabbi Nachman explains that when we have the power of prayer, we are nurturing the power of Eretz Yisrael. This is especially true today. Today, when we have this war going on in Gaza, we have this war going on where the barbarians committed unspeakable atrocities against us. We need prayer, because the only truth is there's been plenty of battles in Jewish history, plenty of battle in world history. And all these battles, only one who won was Hashem. Hashem's will was done. Hashem has brought us back to the land of Israel less than 100 years ago. And as the Nevi'im said, they foresaw that when we come back to the land of Israel, we will be rebuilding the land until Mashiach comes. This is even prior to Mashiach's coming. It will happen. And it is happening right now in front of our eyes. But what? The land of Israel represents Tefillah. Lesson 7, the Kutam Moran. Rabbi Nachman explains that the land of Israel is the land of prayer. We have to recognize the power of Hashem. We have to recognize the will of Hashem. We have to recognize that it's up to us to turn to Hashem and to invoke His compassion. If we do so, then we will merit to see the miracles that the land of Israel represents. One final part of the Parsha is the last chapter in Vayishlach, speaks about the descendants of Esav. Esav had 6 family members, and they're called nefashos, souls, plural. Yaakov, in Parshas Vayigash, we find Kol HaNefesh Haba Lebeis Yaakov, the soul of the house of Yaakov. Here it's souls, and here it's soul. What's the difference? The Medrash says that the Jews are one, and they all turn to the one God. They turn to the one God because they actually, at their root, are one. Esav had 6 souls, not 70 as it says there about the Jews, but 6 souls. But he's souls, plural, because each one has a different God. Each one has a different perception of what heaven is all about. Each one is different. They're not all the same. They don't all agree upon anything. And you see it. All the different nations of the world, they're all different. Right? They cannot agree upon anything. Whereas in Judaism, we all have the one God. And that was the end of the Parsha. And it teaches us that souls cannot survive. Or as President Lincoln said, a house divided among itself cannot stand. So what the call of the day is for us is unity. Let us all, as a Jewish nation, band together. Let us all join in unity. One goal, one God. Let us all pray. We all have a different perception of Hashem. But let us all pray to the one God. And with that, we will be able to unite. With that, we will be able to bring unity and peace to Am Yisrael. Peace, after all, is one. I'm not two separate people. I'm one. It's not a ceasefire. We have two different sides. We are one. Let us all pray to Hashem, daven, ask Hashem to help us, and in Yetzer Hashem we will see miracle after miracle with the coming of Mashiach, the building of the Beis HaMikdash, and the full redemption of Klal Yisrael. Amen. Amen. Have a good week. Good evening, and I hope you enjoyed the shir. And if you like the shir, please pass it on to others and let them all get interested in Breslov and Rabbi Nachman's teachings. We look forward to hearing from a lot more of you. All the best.